Well, hello all. All right. The day before the U.S. becomes a plutocracy or a fascist country. One day left. Will the Democrats somehow talk the Republicans into throwing the orange man out of office? It's so important that that happens. But it's not only that. I think there's a conspiracy between the Democrats and the Republicans to throw Bernie Sanders out. Because as we know, this party, this Democrat and Republican party, is corrupt all the way through. They're part of the mob. The mob has now taken over the U.S. It's clear as can be. Let's go over the board and I'll show you some more. The DNC and all, the Democratic Party, kept details of their app as well as the investment hidden from public ahead of the Iowa caucus, meaning the dark money that built the app that would get rid of Bernie Sanders is what that was all about. It didn't seem to work very well. Too many people wanted Bernie in, so everything's coming apart as far as that calls. So now calls for Tom Perez to step down now, who is the head of the DNC. Step down, get out of the party. Pink is one of those that are calling him to step down. Step down and admit you're part of the mob. Bernie Sanders, the most dangerous politician because of his comment, equals social ability or social order. In other words, this rich against the poor will end. The rich will begin to pay their fair price of taxes. The corporations will no longer get off. And social order will be equal or more equal, according to them. And that's sort of what we're hearing from Bernie Sanders. This is so important to get Bernie in because of what's happening with the environment around the world. Japan plans to release 1.2 million tons of radioactive water from Fukushima. This has to be done by 2022 to make way to get rid of the tanks so that they can put equipment there that will start to decommission the rest of Powerhouse 2, I guess it is. So they plan on releasing this water pretty quickly here. They're going to continue to release it, and it'll just be completely finished being released by 2022. The release date isn't quite out there yet and probably will never be announced. If you are eating anything out of the Pacific Ocean, there's something wrong with you, really. You should not be eating any kind of food that was raised, caught, or any other way in the Pacific Ocean. Now, unfortunately, as this radiation builds up in the Pacific Ocean, it is said that all neighbors that this visits will have serious consequences. Does this mean that the west coast of the U.S. needs to evacuate? I'm sure they're not going to dump it anywhere near Japan, so apparently they're going to dump it more out in the middle, towards Hawaii and the U.S., and we need a real leader to stop this. I mean, radiation in the Pacific Ocean in the condition that our planet is already in. We're just going to wipe out an entire life form of everything in the ocean. Boy, I tell you, Bernie, we need you badly. Don't let Bernie get thrown under the bus. If there was ever a time that there's an emergency declaration, it's now. People, I mean, you can be in the streets if you want, whatever it is, tomorrow is the day. And tomorrow could be the day that Trump says no more elections, I'll just appoint people, which would be his family, of course. There's so much more I want to talk about, but no time. Time seems to be just going like this for me. Just so little time and so much to talk about. But I do appreciate all the conversation on the last video. Some good conversation. I appreciate the ups, the downs, the new subscribers. And yes, in the future we will talk about global dimming again. We have talked about it several times. Don't worry about it too much.